All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be going live in approximately 4 minutes. So do stay tuned. If you need a cup of coffee, now's a good time to go and get one. We will be live, just to let you know, for the next 2 hours, or as long as Chef Joshua takes to make these scrumptious scones. And during that time, I will be answering questions on his behalf via the chat function in YouTube. So please stand by. We will be live in 3 minutes. Okay, guys, good afternoon, and welcome to UOWKDU Penang. My name is Ian Barboza. I am the producer for this particular event, and I am obliged to inform you about this particular event and how we are staging it. Okay, in light of the current COVID-19 pandemic, we have had to change the way we work, and one of the first things that we have done in this particular scenario is to observe COVID-19 social distancing protocols. Okay, all of us here are standing far apart. This room used to be air conditioned. It's not air conditioned anymore. The doors and windows are open. Fans are placed at suitable inlets and outlets. Positive airflow is induced. Everything is as safe as can be. Now, I'm also here to inform you that this is a YouTube channel. All right, guys, YouTube. There is a chat function. So if you have any questions for Chef Joshua, please feel free to type it in. Okay? Any question you want, all right? Even if it's not for Chef Joshua, if we can answer it, please feel free to ask. We will try our best. Okay, guys? Enjoy, sit back, and now I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Lee, the event organizer of this particular cooking class. He is also one of our marketing personnel over here, and he would like to explain a little bit about our school. Mr. Lee, please.
Okay. So hello everyone, good afternoon. Okay, welcome to the virtual hobby classes conducted by University of Wollongong, Malaysia, KDU. Okay, very happy to see you all here. Okay, I know that everyone is couldn't wait to learn how to make the freshly baked scone already. Okay, but never mind. Okay, we just take a few minutes coming to rest on yourself first, okay, and listen to the briefing first, okay, because I believe that some of the students are still on the way to joining our workshop today. So okay, while waiting for them, I would like to give you all about some briefing about UOW Malaysia KDO first. Okay, so at the same time you'll be prepared for the workshop later. Okay, so before we get the workshop started, I will just okay. Hi everyone, I'm here again. Okay, I will tell you all about the UOW Malaysia KDU. Okay, Stan, can you go to the up again? Another slide. Yes, this one. Okay, UOW Malaysia KDU. Okay, so before we get our workshop started, okay, I would like to give you all some briefing about UOW Malaysia KDU. So at the same time, we can wait for more club to joining in our YouTube channel. Okay, then yourself also be prepared for the workshop later. Okay, so Mr. N, next slide. Okay, so firstly, I would like to brief you all about University of Wollongong, Malaysia. Okay, University of Wollongong, Australia. Sorry, okay, University of Wollongong, Australia. Okay, based on the World University Ranking 2021, University of Wollongong, Australia achieved the highest ranking, which is 196 compared to the other Australia-oriented or Australia-based university at Malaysia. So if you want to look for the potential tertiary education, then of course University of Wollongong, Malaysia will be your best choice, because we are the part of global partner of University of Wollongong, Australia, which is the 196 in the World University Ranking. Okay, Mr. Ian, next slide. Okay, so for your information, University of Wollongong, Australia has many campuses around the world, okay, including Australia, Dubai, Hong Kong, Singapore, and we are proud to announce that in Malaysia, KDU is a global part of the Global University of Wollongong, Australia. Because now, okay, if you want to get the potential, quality tertiary education, Australian-based qualification, then welcome to join us, okay, UOW Malaysia KDU. Because we are becoming the part of Global University of University of Wollongong, Australia, so our name already branding from KDU to becoming University of Wollongong, Malaysia KDU, UOWM Malaysia, UOW Malaysia KDU. So in the future, when you see the words UOW Malaysia KDU, you don't misunderstand that this is a new college or from maybe Japan or Korea. No, we are formerly KDU. We are just rebranding to become University of Wollongong, Malaysia KDU after becoming part of Global University of Wollongong, Australia. Okay, next slide. Okay, so in Malaysia, UOW Malaysia KDU has 3 campuses. Okay, located at Selangor, Penang Island, Georgetown, and also Penang Island, Batu Kawan. Okay, next slide. Okay, regardless you are joining in Selangor or Penang campuses, right? We provide you with a very well-equipped facility for better learning experiences. Okay, for example, we have very well-equipped production kitchen, science lab, and also the engineering lab and so on. Okay, see, and from the picture here, right, we have a very comfortable lecture theater. Okay, advanced computer lab to learn about video editing and so on, and also professional studio, okay, for mass communication and so on. So in here, I will guarantee you have a very wonderful learning experiences here. Okay, next slide. Okay, besides providing a quality education to students, we also provide a lot of student activity, games, workshop, and sport to our students. So you won't be boring when you're studying here. We have a lot of personalized campus activity for you all to enrich yourself, to make more friends, and also to relax yourself, okay, while putting in your effort to study. Okay, next slide please. Okay, so last but not least, I would like to brief you all about courses available at UOW Malaysia KDU. Okay, firstly, we have business program. Okay, in business school, business including business and accounting, 2 courses for your choice. So we have diploma until degree, master until PhD as well. So you can have the opportunity to progress yourself from one level to another if you join us. Okay, after this we have build environment. Build environment refer to interior design. If you think that you are a very creative person, you want to like and unleash your creativity to make the rooms or the house look nicer, or make use of the limited space to become more user friendly, then build environment will be your choice. Mean interior design. We have diploma and degree. Okay, that's after this we have communication program. Mass communication, it covers 3 areas: broadcasting, public relations, journalism, and you can learn about social media as well. If you want to be a producer, TV newscaster, DJ, event coordinator, or advertiser and so on, then communication program will be your choice. Okay, then after this we have computing program, computer science. Okay, whoever interested in like something like do the coding, programming, learn about ethical hacking, cloud technology, then our computer science program will be your choice. Okay, same thing like the business program, we have diploma, degree, PhD, and so on for you to progress into the more advanced education level. Okay, then we have hospitality program. So under this program, basically you have 2 options. One is international hotel management, and another one is professional chef training. So it depends on which part you want to be. Okay, if you prefer more on the management side, of course, international hotel management will be your choice. Of course, if you feel that you want to learn more on skills, okay, produce food or beverage and so on, then professional chef training will be your choice. Okay, next we have health science, which is nursing program. Okay, we have nursing program for students. Okay, what I can guarantee you is we can guarantee 100% passing rate in our nursing program here. So if you compare with the government hospital or private hospital so on, right, there is no bonding when you join us. So you have the flexibility to look for the career opportunity or to progress yourself in the future without any bonding with the hospital. Okay, next we have law program. Okay, offered at Selangor campus. Okay, and this law program we are running it in collaboration with University of London, UK. So now you no need to go to UK, and yet you can finish your whole program at Selangor campus. Okay, next we have engineering program. So engineering program is more on E&E and mechatronics. So you are interested in more on robotic or something like manufacturing, make use of all the tools, equipment to come up with the better tools or machine, then engineering will be your choice. We have a well-equipped engineering lab for you to make full use of the machine and also tools and equipment to come up with your own robotic products. Okay, welcome to join us. Okay, so after this we have ATP program and also education program and professional accounting. Then for pre-university program, right, we have A-level arts and science. We have foundation in arts and science as well. So if you are looking for the Penang campus, right, okay, something important to highlight is our foundation in science can provide a pathway for you to enter your degree at USM, University of Science Malaysia. So far we are the only one, okay, who can accepted by USM, okay, to study the degree after foundation. It means now your career path, your study pathway not only limited to STPM or matriculation in order to go into USM. Foundation in science offered at Penang campus can be one of the pathway for you to get into it. Then you can the benefit of joining this pathway is you can avoid all the obstacle like quota based kind of thing and so on, or selection kind of thing to enter USM already. So it's a very useful way for you to get into USM to further your study. Okay, and then something not to miss out is about education. We have early childhood program. So who like to work together with the kids, provide knowledge to them, at the same time have games and fun with the kids, right? Then our early childhood can be one of your choices. Okay, so this kids course is offered at Selangor campus. Okay, so you're interested, you can look for maybe any of the marketing staff either in Penang campus or Selangor campus. We all will be ready to assist you all about the course information. Okay, so that's all for my briefing today. If you've got any question, welcome to leave a message at the YouTube channel, then I will reply you from there. Or you can look for our marketing executive to look for more information through the website or our live chat and so on. Okay, so that's all for my sharing. I'll pass the session to Mr. M. Okay, thank you everyone.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lee. So, right now, we'd like to begin with the actual presentation. I'd like to invite Chef Joshua. Come on in, brother.
Hello, and a very warm welcome to everyone who is witnessing this holiday hobby class with UOW Malaysia. Indeed, it's a pleasure to be able to meet you guys via this presentation, and I hope you guys will enjoy this time with me. So today, before going further, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Joshua. I'm the pastry lecturer in UOW Malaysia KDU. So today, we are going to make a very simple pastry item, just comprising of 7 ingredients. Okay, just 7 ingredients. It is called Scottish Scones. Some of you may have heard about Scottish Scones, some of you may have tried, but some of you might not have. So today is the day where you can actually make it at your home. This is a very simple pastry, so that's why I chose this pastry as an option. So without further ado, let's have a look at the ingredients that we need. The measurements and the recipes will be given to you soon in the video itself. So let's go to the first ingredient, which is flour. Okay, so this is plain flour, also known as all-purpose flour. We have baking powder, 15 grams. We have dried fruits here. So for me, I've taken raisins and also sultanas, a combination that gives you 100 gram. This is cold cut butter. It is very important that it is cold, not frozen but cold. And this is 1 egg, approximately 45 grams. Usually this is grade C. If you are having a grade A egg, so it will be about 55 to 60. It's okay, you can just reduce the amount of milk. And this is milk. It is a very, very simple process. So without any delay, let's just begin our process. Okay, so I have a bowl here. We are going to sieve all the dry ingredients into this bowl. First is flour, then the baking powder. Another gentle reminder to all of you. Mostly, if you are purchasing butter in the supermarket, the butter will be salted. So if the butter is salted, then it's not necessary to add salt to the recipe itself. If you have purchased unsalted butter, then yes, you have to add just a pinch of salt. So now this is a combination of flour and also baking powder. I've not added any salt because the butter we are using today is salted. So we just have to sieve the flour and the baking powder. Okay, is it important to sieve? Yes, it is, because we might not know what are the foreign particles or objects that are present in the flour and the baking powder itself. That's one thing. Another thing is just to combine it combine all those dry ingredients well, and also give it a more fluffy texture, which will assist us later in this recipe. So now we can you could add the raisins in the flour, but then I would prefer that we add the butter first and then we will crumb in. I'll show you a method. This is called the crumbing in method. So once we have combined the butter and the flour, and then we will add the raisins and sultanas. Okay, for this you have to use your fingertips. You may try. You may use like perhaps a spoon or a wooden ladle, but the best option to do this crumbing method is using your fingertips. So make sure to use your fingertips. You don't have to use the palm of your hands. So what I'm doing now is just combining the butter and the flour. So you don't have to apply a lot of pressure to it. You just very lightly rub the butter and also the flour together. So this is also known as rubbing in method. Now, many of you or some of you may not be so interested in adding raisins because you might not like raisins. So what can we do? Okay, so there are many options. Do not worry. The options are perhaps you can just leave it plain, or you can add other dried ingredients. For example, cranberries, or perhaps dried mixed peel or candied mixed peel, nuts, chocolate chips, anything which is dry. But just make sure it's dry. Yeah. Do not add any ingredients which are wet because it will make the end product soggy. So as you can see, while we are rubbing in, the flour and the butter has combined quite well. From the flour being a white base, now you can see it's already yellow and it's crumbles. Okay, so this is the perfect consistency where you could actually add whatever additives, perhaps the additional items you would like to add. So now for my scone, I'm going to add raisins and sultanas. So you just have to mix it up, and first part is done. Okay, so we'll set it aside. So before going further in this process, I would like to let you know that the oven is a very important equipment here, and preheating the oven is very important too, because you don't want to have a cold oven when you put in your pastry items. So now I'm gonna show you. This is just a basic oven which usually most of the household will have. So first thing is to set the temperature. Okay, so for now we are setting the temperature to about 250. Okay, so just a moment. Okay, so the temperature is 220. So I will be at, since we are using a small, okay, this is a tip for all of you. If any recipe that you are taking in from Google, okay, it states that the temperature is about 180 degrees. If you are using a small oven, then you have to reduce about 10 to 20 degrees lower, so that you'll get the same result like as what the recipe wants. Okay, so we have a question here. Okay, yes, Mr. Ian.
Okay, Chef, we have a few questions. One of them is from a lady called May Barbosa. Yeah, she's my mother. So I'm going to ask. She's asking whether you can use grated cheese.
You want to use grated cheese to incorporate in the Scottish scone? Yes, you can. But just make sure that the cheese is not a soft cheese. For example, cream cheese. Cream cheese is not a good option. Perhaps mozzarella or even cheddar will be a good option. But then if you're using harder cheese like Parmesan or cheddar, usually it goes to the savory side. But at the end of the day, if you love that taste, why not?
All right. We also have another question from Kwan. I don't know whether it's a Miss or Mr. The question she or he is asking, is the temperature the same if they use a steam oven?
Okay, so steam oven. Okay, actually steam oven, steam baking is a process. Okay, it is a very different process compared to baking. Okay, steam baking is baking in the presence of water. So usually steam baking is very efficient for bread making, pudding, and products which are similar to that. However, if you're going to bake cakes, or you're going to bake, in this case, scones, steam baking is not the right option. Or yeah, you can. It's better to use a normal oven which has baking options only.
Chef, I have one question on my side.
Yes, Mr. Ian.
Are you using a traditional oven or is this something special?
This is a traditional oven. It's a very simple oven which usually most of us will have in our home. So it's a very simple oven. I'm using this today just to let you know, just to give you a vision that it is a very simple product to make, and it will be equally as good if you are using this simple oven.
So the oven has temperature setting?
Yes. Okay. So any basic oven usually has 3 settings. So as we are gonna preheat the oven, I'll explain to you what are the settings which will most likely be available in all the ovens. Okay, so the first one is the temperature. Like for this recipe today, we'll be baking at about 220 degrees Celsius. So I will be setting it to about 210 since the oven is small. So you just have to set it to 210. Next, the settings will be for the heating options. So there are usually in an oven, there are 2 heating elements, bottom and top. So there's an option where you can choose to have both heaters on, or the top or the bottom. So for today, we want both on. So it's here. And next, the last one is the timer. So you just have to switch on the timer. The timer, there are timing available. You can always use this. So you have to just on the timer fully. So right after adding the pastry into the oven, and then we adjust the temperature or the timer to the set time.
Okay, we got another question. Leong Wai's son is asking whether they can use an outdoor oven.
Outdoor oven. Okay, for usually from what I understand, an outdoor oven is usually coal fired or wood fired. It's okay. I'm happy to say that yes, you can use it, because for scone especially, because scone requires a very high temperature. Usually outdoor oven has a very high temperature, minimum 220 to 250 degrees. It is usually used for making flatbreads, pizzas and stuff. So yes, you can always use the outdoor oven, but then as a precaution, you have to put the scone further away from the heat. That means it's nearer to the entrance slot of the oven.
Okay. There's another question from my mother.
Sure. The more the question, the happier am I.
She's asking if she can use an oven toaster. I think oven toaster doesn't have a temperature.
Okay, if the oven toaster doesn't have a temperature, that's a problem, because you don't know where, how much it's gonna heat up to. However, you can try. It will definitely bake somehow, but then perhaps the texture will not be as optimum as it should be, but still it will work out. Because this is, if you ask me this question when I'm doing a cake, I would say no. But scone is a very versatile pastry. Yes, it is possible.
Does she have to preheat the oven as well?
Definitely. Any oven must be preheated before placing any pastry inside of it.
Okay, can you explain why? Why?
Okay, simple. Because we are gonna bake a product. Okay, it needs heat. So especially when it comes to baked goods, you don't want to put anything when the oven is cold, because the temperature increases. As we know, as the heating element starts, the temperature increases gradually. So you don't want the cake or the bread or whatever you are baking be inside when the temperature gradually increase, because it's exposed to a wrong temperature for quite some time, so you don't get the best effect.
I see. We also have the last one before we proceed from Miss Valerie Uy.
Okay.
Does the
Hi,
brand
Valerie.
Oh, you know her? Huh?
Yes.
Okay. Does the brand of butter matter?
Okay, so this butter is a very big topic. So now let me explain as simple as possible. Okay, butter is under the category of fat. Okay, so perhaps if you are a vegan or a vegetarian, you may use margarine, no problem. Okay, so the difference between margarine and butter is from animal, which is from milk, and margarine is from a plant. It's from palm oil, most of the time, palm or corn oil. So quality of butter, does it affect the end product? Yes, it does. Always an optimum, a premium quality butter will always taste best. However, if you are using anything with a lower quality, perhaps a cheaper butter, doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter at all. The taste is still very good.
All right. Okay, excellent. So, Chef, can we proceed for a little bit? With
Okay, so let's proceed. So now we have already preheated the oven. If you can see, perhaps you can't see, I'm sorry about that. But we can notice that the heating element has already turned red. So that means it's preheating well. Now, let's go back to our scone. So since the dry ingredient is
let me try and zoom in.
combined, okay, you can have a look. This is how it looks. Okay, so the do you want to look? Okay, so if you can see, the heater is red now.
I see.
Okay, so now once the dry ingredient is ready, we are going to prepare the wet ingredient. It is a very simple preparation to prepare the wet ingredient. It's just 1 egg and the milk according to the recipe as I have given. So what you have to do is you have to combine the egg and the milk. Make sure the yolk is broken and they have combined well. Okay, you can have a look here. Okay. So now we have both the wet and the dry ingredients. Okay. So before going further, I would just like to prepare my work surface. So if you have a proper kitchen, a good kitchen, usually your work surface or your kitchen tabletop will be made up of marble. So you can always use your marble surface or the stone surface, just clean it well, and then you can use it to shape your scones. However, today since we are at the studio, I'll be using this. This is a cake board, a typical cake board. You can get it at any baking shop. So this works as well. So, and then I have prepared 2 tins, okay, which I'll show you in a while. You just have to line the tin with parchment paper or baking paper with some butter on it. That's it. Okay, now proceeding. So you just have to make a well in the center. As you can see, just a well. And then you have to pour in the wet mixture. We are almost done actually. So as you can see, you just have to combine the dry ingredients with the wet ingredient. Okay, so you don't have to knead it until it becomes a dough. Okay, all you have to do is just combine until you have no more dry or wet mixture individually. Okay, so I've done mixing it. Okay, this is how it should look. It should look very wet and very rough at the same time. You don't want anything smooth. If please don't be compelled or don't be urged to add more flour or more milk when you find the texture a bit not up to what you were expecting. Okay, this is how it's supposed to be: wet and soggy and also quite soft. Okay, so now we are done with the scone dough. Now, do you need a rolling pin? No, you don't need. It's a very simple way of shaping this scone. Okay, so here I have two cutters, one medium sized and one smaller sized circle. Okay, you may use any cutter you have. If you have other types of cookie cutters, or perhaps you don't have cutter at all, it's okay. You can always use a glass and just cut it. So just make sure you dust the glass with some flour, then you can proceed to cut the scone. Okay, before going further, what I usually, you can take the whole dough and then you flatten it and you flatten the surface and then you can do the cutting. However, what I would prefer is you take half or perhaps a quarter of what you have, the combination of the dough, because we are going to use a lot of flour to shape the dough. So if you are putting everything once, and there's a possibility of adding too much flour into your scone, so we don't want that. Okay, so what you do is you lightly dust your surface and then take half. So I'm taking about half, and then just flatten the dough to about 1 inch thickness, not too thin, not too thick. Okay, just about 1 inch thickness. So this is the pan I've prepared. Okay, I've already placed some parchment paper on it and also greased it with some butter. Now, so I'm going to use this plastic cookie cutter. So you just have to go through the dough. Okay, that's it. So it comes out very well. Okay, and then you just have to drop it. That's it. It's that easy. Okay, so we'll proceed to do a few more scones just before we place it in the oven. One more thing, while you are making scones or biscuits or cookies, remember that you have to turn your pastry products occasionally. Okay, when you place it in the oven, because the heater is at a specific place or an angle, so sometimes the heat will not be distributed as well as we are expecting. So some places will be brown and some places will be not. Okay, now we have a question.
Okay,
Yes.
we have a question again from this Miss Kaur. If we don't have a cutter, what else can they use?
Okay, so like I said just now, you can actually just use a normal glass with a circle opening on top. So you just have to dip the glass. Okay, let's see. I'll just show you. Imagine that this is the mouth of the glass. So you just have to dip it on the flour, in the flour, and then you cut. It's that simple.
Chef, why dip, chef?
Because you want to just give it some lubrication so that it drops.
Okay.
If not, it might stick to the glass.
Understood.
Okay, worst case scenario, if you don't even have a glass of a circle shape, what can I do? Simple. You just have to take this dough, you shape it into a circle, and then you cut it into wedges or quarters, just like that. Okay, you can always do this. Okay, fun fact, actually the original Scottish scones were actually in this shape. Okay, it was triangular in shape because it was fun fact again, Scottish scones were created as early as the 15th century. Okay, during the 15th century, there was no baking powder. So usually the Scottish used oat flour uh, combined with some butter, some lard, and milk. Okay, so what they usually do is they make the bread like this. They flatten it. They cut it. They place it in a metal container, like a flat pan, and then they will just cut it into quarters and bake it. So that was the original shape of the scone. So this was later developed after um, the French people started this fine dining, and they started making food look more valuable. So that's where these circle shapes come from. But that being said, I would prefer the circle shape more than the triangle shape itself. So it depends on the preference of everyone. Okay, so we have 4 here. So now there are 4 pieces of scone here. Just a moment, yeah. So we have 4 pieces of scone here. So this is how it will look before egg wash. So what do you have to make sure during this process is that you distance the scone properly. So that means there have to be a proper distance, because the scones will actually expand while baking. The next and the very important process is egg washing. So as you can see, this is just a combination of an egg yolk with about 2 teaspoons of milk or water. You can use milk or water. So if you are not so keen on using egg yolk on top, it's okay. You can always use a combination, a very thin combination of corn flour, a bit of milk, and also some yellow coloring. It will resemble the exact visual effect of the egg wash. So you just have to take some. You don't have to be too generous. Okay, just be very gentle. Okay, so you brush the scones with some egg yolk. How long does this scone takes to bake? Actually, it takes a very short time, about 15 minutes. So what we usually do is we will time it for 7 minutes, and then we will flip it over, or we will just change the direction, and then we'll put it back in the oven. So now we will place the scones in the oven. Okay, so now let's talk about scones. Scones. Usually scones are very neutral in flavor. They are slightly sweet, but they are very neutral. Why it is neutral? Because it's usually eaten with a spread. Perhaps butter, cream cheese, clotted cream, jam, marmalade, anything you name it, you can have it with scone. So scones are usually served during high teas or breakfast, and the shape of the scone, later I'll show you, you can have a look. The shape of the scone is very how to say, it assists in this opening and spreading very well. So that's what we are trying to look forward when we are making scone. So see, while this scone bake, do we have any questions, Mr. Ian?
None so far. Many people are placing orders right now.
Okay, this class is this session is for you to actually try. This is a very simple pastry product. You should try, and also have a hand in baking also. Okay.
All right, excellent.
So while it bakes, I've already pre-baked a few scones just now, just to shorten our time. So I will show you the serving suggestion of the Scottish scone.
First, I'm putting on the screen right now the menu. Sorry, not menu, the ingredients list. So, Chef, can you see the ingredients list, Chef?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys, you may want to just do a screen capture of this video of this particular frame if you want to give it a shot of for yourself. Chef, some questions, personal questions. Plain flour. I'm not a very kitchen guy.
Okay.
What is
Yes,
what
Mr.
is plain flour?
Okay, plain flour. There are three types of general flour categories. One is the soft flour, or also known as cake flour. The other one is the plain flour, or also known as all-purpose flour. And the other one is bread flour, also known as strong flour. So, why three categories? Simple. It actually indicates the amount of protein present in the flour. This protein is named gluten. Okay, gluten is actually a very important protein or an ingredient that is needed by the flour to produce that how to say, perhaps that effect where when you use it on breads or
Texture.
cakes.
It's like a texture, eh?
No, it helps to hold the shape of the bread or the cake
I
or
see.
the cookies we are making.
I
So this in increasing order, in ascending order, soft flour has the least amount of gluten. That's why it is usually used for cakes because it has a softer texture. And also bread flour has the highest amount of gluten. That's why it is used in breads. As you can see, breads are quite tough and crusty. It is the effect of gluten. However, all-purpose flour is a general flour. It has a medium amount of gluten where it is very versatile. It can be used to make cakes, cookies, or also breads.
Okay.
So that's the difference.
Got some other questions. Some people have just joined. Welcome.
Welcome.
They're asking, Marine is asking, what flavor is it?
Hi, Marine. How are you?
Oh.
So Marine is my very, very close
Hi.
college mate.
I see, I
Okay, so
see.
it was just two of us in when I was studying. Hi,
Ah.
mommy. Okay, so this one is plain scones, which is flavored with raisins. Added with raisins. Since Mehreen asked, I would give you a few tips on how to make some changes to your scone. If you would wish to have chocolate flavored scones, okay, all you have to do is you can take note. Okay, all you have to do is just replace 15 grams of plain flour with cocoa powder, and then you will get chocolate scones. Next, if you want perhaps coffee flavored scones, you just have to replace 15 ml or 15 grams of milk with espresso, and then you'll have coffee flavored scones. So it is a very versatile pastry product, so you can always change the flavoring or the addition that you are placing into it.
Amelia is asking about temperature again.
Okay.
Temperature and duration.
Okay, so the temperature, like what I said, is the recipe says it's 220 degrees. If you're having a quite a big conventional oven, yes, 220 degrees. But if you're having a small cute oven like this, and so you can always reduce about 10 to 15 degrees. So you can have it at 210 or 205 degrees.
For how long?
Plus minus 15 minutes. So 7 minutes one side, then we turn it, and then we have 7 minutes another side. How do you know if the scones are baked? Simple, as you can look at this part, the top will be brown, and you can see these beautiful cracks in the middle. Okay, it is very essential for a scone to have this crack and this golden brown visual. Okay, so why do we need this? Because later I will show you how do usually people eat scones. So yeah, this is important. You only achieve this when you cut the scones properly and not reshape it after cutting. So as you can see, as you saw just now, I just cut and then placed it immediately on the pan itself.
Aye. Okay, so another question, Chef.
Okay.
How long will it take? I mean, Miss Suguna asking, how long will it take?
Okay, Miss
That's about
Suguna,
15 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Can use self-raising flour?
Okay, what is the difference? So I can say yes or no, but then I'll just explain to you a bit what is the difference between plain flour and self-raising flour. Usually, generally, self-raising flour is actually a premix. That means it is plain flour which has been added with baking powder and some extra vitamins and minerals. So you can use self-raising flour, but as you saw just now, this recipe required quite a huge amount of baking powder. So about 15 grams for 300 grams of flour. Usually that's not the case for pre-mixed self-raising flour. So you can use self-raising flour, however you have to add perhaps a teaspoon extra of baking powder. Then yeah, possible.
Oh, I didn't know
Everything
that.
is possible. Any other questions?
May Barbosa can't see the lettering in the recipe. Don't worry, I will copy the recipe and all of the instructions into the comments or the section below, so you can follow up with that after the event. Yeah. Anything else? Can we use fresh fruit? Marine is asking.
Okay, so Marine, Mommy. So yeah, we cannot use fresh fruits while making the scone because as we know, fruits have a lot of moisture content. It might affect the final texture of the scones itself. So as you can see, about 7 minutes has passed from the scones we have been baking. You can see the back part is the scones at the back are beginning to brown because it's more nearer to the heat. So now we are going to change the change the pan to the opposite side. So as you can see, the scone is almost done. Okay, so we are going to change. We're just going to flip it over and then put it back in the oven.
Another question, Chef. Is a 20-liter oven big or small?
Pantry oven.
20 liter.
20 liter. Wow, that's quite good. That's I think this is also about that size.
Okay.
So yeah.
So Chef, I'm hungry, Chef.
Okay, so yeah, we are almost there. We are done. We have a tray here. Okay, usually like what I said just now, scones are very versatile pastry products. So it is usually eaten during high teas. If you go to hotels or restaurants for high tea, you will see scone as an essential product on their high tea trays. Okay, so today we have 4 different spread. Okay, as you can see, we have let me just focus it to you. Okay, so we have cream cheese frosting. Okay, so this is just a combination of cream cheese, some cream, and also sugar and vanilla paste. So this is cream cheese frosting, and this is just pure butter. Everything is better with butter. Okay, like a great man once said that. So, and this is something quite new. Something new. I think we are quite. We know this quite well. This is actually Lotus Biscoff spread. Okay, which we have made. Okay, all these are made by our students here during class. Okay, so Lotus Biscoff spread is very easy to be made. You just have to blend powder Lotus Biscoff cookies and just add a bit of evaporated milk and then blend it, and you have a paste here. Okay, so this is spread, and this is our own homemade strawberry jam. Okay, so we have 4 here. There are tens of different spread you can always put on top of your scone. So how to eat it? Simple. You just have to look for the crack like this. Okay, so you just have to break it according to where the crack lies. So you have 2 different so now you have 2 halves. So what you have to do is you just take your butter knife or a spatula in this case. You just take some, you spread, and you eat. Okay, so you can there are many scones here. You can always use different spread for different tasting. By all means, you can do so. So Mr. Ian, what would you like to have?
Anything you can recommend, chef?
Okay, so I will perhaps give you some butter. Okay, everything is better with butter. Okay, and then okay, some jam. Okay, this is the classic spread, butter and strawberry jam. So Mr. Ian, this is for you. Okay, so there you go.
So this is a live tasting.
Live tasting.
Don't worry, I don't lie when it comes to food. No nice. Chef, I've also heard people eating this with clotted cream.
Yes, clotted cream is a very classic way of eating. Sorry, Mr. Ian, I just wanna remove this.
I stand
Okay,
here quietly.
as you can see, so our scone is already fully baked. So I'm just gonna off the oven. So this is how it looks. Okay, this is the scone we made just now. So yeah, that's how it looks. Okay, clotted cream. Clotted cream is a very classic British spread. Okay, it is actually cream. One part of a cream. It's a long process of explaining it. So it's like it tastes like a combination of butter and whipped cream. So and it's very expensive. So if you want to taste clotted cream, it's just like a combination of whipped cream with extra fat. That's clotted cream.
I'm calling Mr. Lee to come also. I believe in sharing the joy. Chef, I think it's a good idea if you can break open one.
Okay.
I want to zoom in the camera so they can see the
Okay,
texture.
sure. Okay, let's do it with the fresh one.
Yeah, wait.
Okay. So now we'll have a look at the fresh ones.
Chef, I'll use this camera, chef.
Okay, sure.
So where you gonna cut?
I don't have to cut. I just have to open. Okay. So let me know. We will.
You put your hand there. Okay, I'll follow you.
Okay. So this is the hot. It's hot, guys. It's hot. So I'm just pretending that it's not. Okay. So yeah. So this is how it will look. Okay. So very fluffy and very warm. You can eat scones warm, but then I would recommend you to leave it for a few minutes. Maybe it gets a bit cooler, and then you can eat it, because if it's too hot, then it's not so pleasant actually. Okay, so
So the fluffiness is because of the baking powder.
yes, it's also usually it's the same texture with something called as soda biscuits. So it's okay, the texture is very similar to the biscuits you get in Texas chicken. Okay, but then this is more sweet and more mild in flavor compared to that. Okay, so Mr. Ian, you have not.
Asking me to try cream cheese.
Okay, no, you have to try. Since Mama said you have to try, Mr. Ian.
I think my mother is wishing she's here right now.
Okay, so how about the hot one? You want to try the hot one?
Chef, you prepare for everybody here. Let's
Okay, yeah, sure.
Go. No need to describe. We see your face enough.
Okay, so this is for Mr. Ian. Okay, let's see. Mr. Cat, come. What do you want to try?
Just butter, I think.
Only butter?
Only butter, yes.
Okay. Okay, there you go.
Okay, thank you.
So Mr. Ian, you have to try this, as it's hot, and you have to let me know how it tastes.
Miss Nandi, instead of butter, can I use planta?
Yes, definitely you can use. Planta is actually margarine, a brand of margarine. You can always use Planta, no problem.
Same amount?
Same amount.
No problem, huh?
Yes, and you can even spread the Planta in on the scone before you eat.
Very nice. Keep the questions coming, guys. The longer we stay online, the more scones I get. I can't talk right now. My mouth is full of scones.
Mr. Ian, Mama asked you to try, so you have to try.
My mama is gonna slap me. Back for
Okay, so this is the hot one, the fresh one.
What cheese is this again, Chef?
This is cream cheese with some sugar and cream.
Sugar and cream. Oh my goodness. Okay, in the next episode, we'll be learning how to make cream cheese. Excellent, guys. Thank you. Fantastic. Thank you. Oh, we have some other questions from Geraldine. For the chocolate flavored scones, can she add chocolate chips?
Yes, definitely you can add chocolate chips because it's a dry ingredient, so you just add it in, no problem.
I'll be honest, it's a very simple recipe and it tastes fantastic.
Yes, definitely.
And only 10-15 minutes, right?
That's it.
Awesome. KDU staff are now making plans to come up.
Sure, you can.
Okay, guys. It was a very fast session. Any other questions regarding Chef Joshua? You don't have to ask about scones, guys. You can ask about virtually anything, right?
Anything regarding
cooking lah. Chef, maybe you can tell us a little bit about your history. About
history. Let's see. I've been in this industry for perhaps 5-6 years. So yeah, I'm generally I have interest in anything when it comes to cooking, but then I have extra interest and passion when it comes to pastry. So yeah, that's why I'm here making pastries for you guys.
so basically pastry is your passion.
Yes.
I see. But is chef school like doctor school where you have to go through a general course skill set?
In comparison to a doctor's school or a med school, it is a totally different field, I suppose. But then the process is the same. If you are going to become a doctor, then you have to go through all your classes, your housemanship, and
right?
and the same old thing, the practicals and stuff. So it's the same for our field as well, because skills are very important. Basics are basics, but then you have to have an extra skill when it comes to being a chef.
People are already planning for the next episode, chef. They're asking.
I'll be happy.
Chocolate eclair can do. No?
Wow. Okay, eclair. Yes, possible.
All right, awesome. That's an option. Cupcakes. Leong Wai San is interested in cupcakes.
Yeah, why not?
Is it easy to make?
Actually, for me it's easy, but then yeah, it is. It is all about learning. Once you
Awesome.
learn, then
that
it's
is something
easy.
that we can plan.
Yes, it is not. Nothing is impossible actually.
Okay, Joan Ying is asking about the paper, the butter on the paper.
Okay.
You use a brush?
You don't have to use a brush. If you have a brush, definitely you can use. You can always use your hand. Okay, your fingertips. Just spread some. Okay, because as you know, as the recipe shows, the scones are quite heavy. Okay, with butter, it's very rich. So usually it doesn't stick. Why we are putting is just as a precaution. That's it. So you don't have to use parchment paper because parchment is quite expensive. You can always use a regular baking paper which you can get at any baking ingredients shop.
Yeah, excellent. Chef, your history is coming out, chef. All your history from your past life
Oh my goodness.
is coming online.
What did they say, Mr. Ian? I'm keen to know too.
This person, Kaliswaran Rao Ramadas.
Okay.
She said she first met you started cooking potluck by the seaside.
Okay. So Mr. Kalis is my
Mr. Kalis. Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
Mr. Kalis is my very good schoolmate, classmate.
I see.
So yeah,
In case
like
you
what
can't
he said,
see, Chef Joshua
I used to
blushing.
cook for my friends, back in the times when I was in school. So,
And now you're cooking for us. Thank you very
yes,
much.
you're
Thank
most
you.
welcome. It's a pleasure.
Why my mother make chocolate eclair? It takes 2 or 3 days. This is a good question.
um,
Young Wai San
generally,
can explain why I don't understand also why 2 or 3 days.
actually, I can't comprehend too because you don't take that long. You just need the longest time you need is perhaps for the eclairs to cool down, because making it is just a 20 minutes process. It's a very fast process. Baking it is quite some time because you have to let it fully bake. But then it should not take 2 or 3 days, just one day max.
Quality takes time. Yeah.
Quality takes time, but today
Excellent,
we have
excellent.
already produced a quality food, but it takes very short time, not all the time.
So a lot of people are asking about the next video.
Wow, okay, that I have to ask Mr. Kejian.
So I think what we'll do is, because this is a very interactive session. Okay, you guys have at the end of this video we will be putting some email links at the bottom in the comment section. Please feel free to send over your comments about this event, and if you want to see any other video regarding culinary arts, cooking, anything that you want, just let us know. Okay, we'll strategize another event where you guys get to learn something quick and easy. Okay, we can't teach you all the tough stuff because it's like I said, we only have 1 or 2 hours to do this. But if it's possible and we get to do it, yeah, you can be sure that we'll do this again. Yeah.
Yes, sure.
All right. Okay, Chef. Before we go, anything else you want to add?
Okay, so like what you have seen today is a very fun way or a very fun rendering of baking. Okay, this is the fun part of the world of baking. But I just would like to let you know that baking is full of a lot of sciences. It involves a lot of history and culture. So if students, I mean those youngsters who are interested in actually being a chef, okay, so we from UOW Malaysia welcome you, okay, to join our courses. Okay, so what is the difference between having witnessing this class and being at a literal class in KDU? Okay, so you'll do the same thing but with tons and tons of extra knowledge and precautions and science and history behind every single thing you do. So that's the difference. So that will make you that will set you apart from just a regular home baker, a cute baker, to a professional chef.
Chef, we got lots of comments, Chef. Leong Wai San wants Hokkaido cupcake. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, okay.
Do
So
you know what it is?
Yes, Hokkaido cupcakes. Okay, they are all okay. It's possible to be made, but then if you really want, especially Mr. Young, right? Young.
Leong, Mr. Leong.
Leong.
Leong Wai San. I don't know what it is.
Okay, so Leong, the thing is, if you are so interested, I think you have a potential to be a pastry chef. So
There you
come
go.
and join KDU.
Amelia Lee, Chef.
Okay.
I have just baked my Scottish scones. It looks nice.
Oh
Not bad,
wow!
Chef. She followed us.
Oh my
Awesome.
goodness, that's good.
Amelia, I look forward to seeing some photos. Maybe you can post it in the comments. I'm not sure whether it's possible. Geraldine is asking, is it only Western baking? I don't even know what that means.
Okay, baking.
or there
Okay,
are
baking
other-
is mostly Western. Okay, perhaps I think she's asking that in as far as UOW is concerned.
Right.
Okay, so usually 90% of our baking courses and subjects are based on the Western world. However, we still have a few chapters which focuses on other cultures. For example, Chinese, Indian, Persian, and these kind of regional products where baking was once and also now quite famous.
I see,
So
I
yes,
see.
like for example, pao, mooncakes, naans, pita bread, Arabic bread. These kind of things will also be taught in KDU though.
Okay, Miss Darmini is asking about temperature again. I think she just joined us.
Okay.
Miss Darmini, you can rewind the video after this event is done. You can look through the whole thing again. We've explained the temperatures and the times over there. You don't worry about it. Kaliswaran Rao Ramadas. Yes, chef. I have tried baking bread using a bread maker,
Okay.
but it didn't taste good.
Uh,
Can teach us
perhaps.
how to make tasty bread using bread maker.
Perhaps okay. It all okay when it comes to a bread maker. Okay, bread maker is an automated machine where you add ingredients and then everything is done for you according to the pre-programmed system. So usually, if your bread didn't turn out well using a bread maker, that means something is wrong with the recipe. As simple as that. So if you would like to produce a better bread using a bread maker itself, you have to look for uh, a more reliable, a more better recipe, because it's very easy to make bread in a bread maker, because you just dump all your ingredients in it and then tada, after some time the bread is done. So if it doesn't taste well, that means the recipe is not so
All
good.
right, thank you very much. Okay, chef, I think we are going to close, but before we close, I think the response has been pretty good. Okay, a lot of people are interested, they like cooking. Amelia wants to share with us her photos,
Oh wow,
but we can't
please
see it.
do.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is, guys, I'm going to send you this email form and email connection. So please feel free to send us requests, things that you would like to see. Okay, what do you think about our presentation today, how we can make it better, lighting, sound, whether you want it to be a longer session, a shorter session, more interactive. Please do let us know. We would love to do this again, and maybe with other topics as well, not necessarily just pastry. We could do other dishes in other parts of the school, because
Yes,
as you know,
definitely, most definitely.
we have access to all the kitchens, all the labs. We can do anything we want right now. Okay, guys. So thank you very much. On behalf of all of us here, we'd like to say thank you, Mr. Lee, our
And
marketing.
I would also like to thank all of you guys who have been present during this video. So I'm so happy that you guys gave a wonderful response to this video, and I'm indeed privileged to be here teaching you guys how to make pastries. Pastries, usually when you bake, it is a delight, okay, because when you share what you have baked, it's just the feeling is just amazing. So I wish all of you could go home, take this recipe home and try and enjoy. Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys. Mr. Lee, anything you would like to add, Mr. Lee?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Joshua.
Thank you, thank
Okay, for all the demonstration. Okay, so I hope that everyone enjoy the workshop today and learn something from Mr. Joshua. Okay, for your information, next Saturday we are going to have another workshop we call something like how to create a room by using the mood board. Okay, actually we already share out the link to the school counselor, that so that everyone that can click on the link to register for it lah. So if you're not sure register for it, welcome to log into your school group chat. Okay, normally we already send out the link everything to your school counselor. By right, they already share in the school or to say your school group chat lah, Form 5 group chat or Form 4 group chat and so on. So you just refer back to it, click on it and register for the next Saturday workshop. Okay, of course, you are most welcome to recommend more friends to join us lah, so we can learn things together. The more the better lah, so we can learn things together. Okay, so this is about the next workshop, briefing about next workshop. Okay, another thing I want to tell you is, okay, later I will email you all a link, event evaluation form link to you all. So hope that you all can cooperate and click on the link and fill in your feedback to us. Okay, your feedback is much appreciated by us lah. Okay, for better improvement in the future. Okay, and then another thing is, okay, so basically Mr. Joshua is our alumni from School of Hospitality, and then he's studying a professional chef program. So in the future, let's say you are interested to be as professional as Mr. Joshua, okay, or you want to learn all the culinary skill or cooking skill, everything from professional chef, then welcome to join us. Okay, we have as I mentioned just now, we have campuses in Selangor, Penang, Georgetown, and Penang, Batu Kawan. Welcome to join our program. Then for your information, our professional chef program is very famous in the education industry, because we have a lot of award-winning lecturer. I mean, our lecturers themselves also actively involved in all the competition and context one. So there are many experiences to share with you all, despite just providing you with the education information. We have award-winning lecturer. together with award-winning student at the same time. That means before MCO, okay, we have sent our students to many places, okay, to take part in different kind of competition. They are more on the international level. We go to not in Malaysia lah, we out of Malaysia, like Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and so on. Wherever we can go, we got chance to let our students expose. We will send them over to take part in the competition to enrich their chef experiences, something like that. So if you want to be a professional chef and so on, then welcome to join our program. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you everyone. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Look forward to hearing from all of you and see you soon. Bye bye.